So you want to grow peanuts now, do you? What's wrong with you? Peanuts are a tasty snack, but the fact is, if you want to grow them, especially if you're in a temperate climate, there's a few things you're going to have to take note of. Like other things I grow, like the ginger and the turmeric, you're going to have to get these things started off early. Now, peanuts are technically not a nut. They're leguminous, so they're really a bean. But, you know, they look like nuts, they taste like nuts, and they're pretty damn tasty as well. Now, if you want to grow peanuts, it's very, very important you buy the unroasted ones in their shell. If you don't, you're just urinating in the wind. Or as good as. These are lovely. Before I eat all the peanuts, we better get planting some. Completely doable growing peanuts in the UK or Europe or North America, temperate climates. You have to get them started inside. You don't want to plant them out until the last frosts have gone. You need a sunny site, well drained, nice deep soil, and you know you should have some success. I actually worked on a landscaping project once, and they were just growing in the garden. He'd just thrown the peanuts, and they were just growing there. What the plants sort of do, they almost look like a really bushy sort of broad bean type plant, because obviously, you know, they're pretty closely related. And what happens is you get the little seed casings, the peanut casings, and they sort of send these like arrow-like, I think they call them pegs, and the pegs go straight into the ground, and then the peanuts form under the ground like that. So it's important you've got quite a soft soil. Something you've got to watch out for them is weeds can overrun your peanuts, and trust me, you don't want that to happen because you're going to end up with no peanuts. These are delicious. Now, you are better off growing these in a polytunnel, but I would say I've seen them growing in the UK on a sunny position, so I think it's worth having a punt going for it in a temperate climate outside. As long as you get a fair bit of sun during the year, they should mature and you shouldn't have too much of a problem. What you've got to do is, while these guys are germinating, you have to make sure that they're moist. What you want to do is you want to crack these seed pods open, and you want to plant the seeds with their little red shell on them. Just keep them moist. And when the germination starts, I mean, you know, then you can put them on a month later when they get a little bit bigger. I'm sort of confined for space here in my inside kitchen stroke potting shed. I've got the radiator here, it gets quite warm here. So, yeah, I mean, I don't bother soaking the seeds, the peanuts. I just like to put them in a nice wet, damp soil and then cover with your cling film and then just sort of water it in a big tray like this with all your other plants, and that will give it the sort of natural, the natural situation it needs. You know, if it's next to a radiator, which this is, that will just give them that little burst of life. And as I say, I get them started in March, so I can plant them out or put them in bigger pots, pot them on in the polytunnel. So effectively I might end up with like 10 2-litre pots with 2 or 3 plants per pot, and then I can just go and dot them around or plant them out in April, end of April sort of time. Because, you know, these guys need at least 4 months of sun to give you any form of crop. So again, you just got to get in there early and get them started. Alright? Right, so you want to crack them open and get them red peanuts out. You should end up with something a little bit like this. Right, just space them out on the surface. You know, again, I crowd them in. I'm just going for germination here. Let them put their roots down. You know, just to get them going. And then I can, once they get robust in here, I can pot them on. So I don't mind if you could argue that they're going to get a bit stunted. I mean, look, the pot's quite deep. The pot's quite deep, but you know, you could argue they're going to get too stunted too early. But do you know what? It's worked with me before. As long as they're not in there for too long, they've got a bit of depth there. They put their root down. I can't see what the problem would be with that. Sort of like a peanuts width, depth. Right, now all you've got to do, give it a water, cover that with cling film, leave it somewhere warm. Right, so when you've got your potted up peanuts, grow them on, but remember, if you're going to plant these outside, the soil's got to warm up a bit, so I wouldn't plant them out until at least 3 weeks after them first frosts. If you can grow them on in the greenhouse or the polytunnel in individual pots and get them really robust, that's fine. You know, it might be worth mixing a bit of sand with the soil. You really want a nice fluffy soil for these. But you know what? They're worth it. They're worth giving a go. They're pretty rewarding when you dig them out of the ground. So there you have it. Growing peanuts. Get out there and grow some!